All right. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday on the morning show here on Stock Market TV. We got me, Spencer. We got Steve Strazza back in the saddle. We got Alfonso in the house, and JC is on his way to Disney right now in the air. So good luck to him, and we'll see him next week. But we got a great show nonetheless, and we got a lot of some special guest hosts coming throughout the week or so. But today, it's me, Steve Alfonso. We have Louie because it's Crypto Friday. We have Kenny, and that's the plan. So let's get started. We've got to talk about Costco. We've got to talk about Broadcom. We got to talk about Restoration Hardware. And I'm sure there's more things that I'm not even thinking of that we have to talk about. So no, Donovan, I have not seen any drones. This is like a statewide issue apparently, but everyone's all up in arms about these drones, and I haven't seen any drones. So I guess maybe I'm not paying attention. I don't know. Okay, let's go. We got Steve. He's here with the internet and the likes. Let's boogie. Oh yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. What's up? How's it feel to be back in the office? You good?
We're almost there. We're so close.
You were displaced, and now you're replaced. No,
Yeah,
wait, that's not work.
Living in a hotel for a little while. That was crazy. But we're back. We're back. Just about done. Done with this work. We're gonna have my office back, so that's really nice.
What is the opposite of displaced? Because that's what you are now. You're back. You were displaced, and now you're undisplaced. I don't know if that's a word. Anyway, how have things been for you? Because you didn't have internet, so how do you like trade and stuff with no internet?
It's a pain in the ass. So you could use your phone, but I'd like to be at my
but that's
PC.
nobody likes that.
No, you got to use your phone or go get internet.
Yeah, all right.
I could jig up my hotspot to my laptop. There's things you could do.
Hotspots. Yeah.
You know?
I always forget about the hotspot.
Yeah, the hotspots are good.
Yeah.
Need them. I'll work because we'll drive a lot. So if we're doing like a trip up to Miami, it's a couple of hours. I'll just get the hotspot going and sit in the passenger seat with my laptop. It's great. Mobile office.
There you go. I usually do the driving, so not an option. All right, let's do the state of the markets. And here we go. All right.
So I want to talk about semiconductors today.
Yeah.
Broadcom, big beat. Everybody knew it would be a beat. They upped their guide, and the market liked it. Up what, 15%? We still up 15% here this morning? We were up 15% when I woke up. Okay.
At the moment, it's 17%. Yep.
So this is a big one. Why? This is almost $1 trillion company now.
Close.
There's NVIDIA, and there's Broadcom, and then there's everybody else, at least in the United States, as it comes to semiconductors, right? So these are the big boys. When you look at a chart, do we have the XSD or SMH? I could throw one up. Fonz, if you got it, get it up there. Back in July, things started to really change for the semiconductors, right? So we had 3 of the worst days on a relative basis ever. Actually, before we get there, we'll talk about the XSD. This is equal weight semiconductors. So not a ton of NVIDIA, not a ton of Broadcom. This is the whole group. They try to equal weight it. This is a really nice fund. What are you getting? A monster breakout. That fall start was this summer, right before things got a little shaky, right? And then you see that August shakeout low, right? And the last green arc. And then we fire right back to the breakout level. And it looks like we're getting it done. And now here today, one of the most important companies in this subgroup just smashed earnings, is up 17%. It's going to drag the whole space with it. This breakout will be real this time.
It's certainly dragging it this morning, right?
Huge level.
Yeah,
totally.
Also,
it's
a tough 6 months there for semis, right?
Really tough.
And it's not, maybe it looks easy now. It wasn't so easy.
And that's the point that I'm trying to make, right? So I'm turning very, very bullish on semiconductors. Spencer, do you remember a time this summer when I was telling people maybe take some profits in your semiconductors? I turned bearish on semiconductors. I want to show you why. Throw up the 1-day rate of change chart, Fonz. Back in July, it was July 17th. It was my birthday. I remember it perfectly. We had one of the worst days in terms of performance gap between the semiconductors and the broader market in history of semiconductors,
Yeah.
coming off of all-time highs. So what was happening there? They were rotating out of these stocks aggressively. Big money was moving out of the semiconductors into other things. It happened again in August. Biggest day since 2014 in August, 10 years. And then it happened again in September. Now, again, this is on a relative basis, but the worst days for semiconductors, 3 of the worst days for semiconductors in their history in back-to-back-to-back months starting this summer. So they were just hitting these stocks. They were an ATM. They were an ATM for the breadth expansion that this market was seeing.
I like that.
They were the early leaders. Broadcom, Nvidia, they're up, 4, 5, 6x. Investors were ringing the register and redeploying that cash into things that were just now starting to work. Now we look back, because hindsight's 2020. Now we can look back and say, what happened these past 2 quarters? Well, look at software. Look at some other tech groups. Look at the Mag 7 names now. Look at the big boys back in action. So after 6 months of, I think, terrible price action for this group, one of the most critically important groups of stocks, one of the best groups of stocks, frankly, I would say that this industry group is the poster child for this bull market. Are we just going to carry on, go enjoy some sort of Santa Claus rally, keep rallying in the next year without semiconductors? Go to the way zoomed out chart. Way zoomed out rate of change chart. That tells this story really nicely.
Well, we have carried on thus far. So
is this really going to be a top? Just as everything else is starting to work. Spencer just said it. It's been a rough 6 months for these stocks. These are great stocks. These are the early cycle leaders. When you zoom out, we just broke out of a massive dot-com bubble base versus the broader market, semiconductors, right? And then is the first little consolidation pattern going to be a reversal? I don't think so. I think that's going to be a failed top, just like all the other failed tops that we've seen. When you look at the 10-day rate of change here, so this is like a rolling 2-week performance, relative performance chart on the bottom pane here. This was worse than the financial crisis. The relative weakness here from semiconductors. And Spencer, if I did this on a 21-day rate of change basis, guess what you'll see? The same thing. So even when you start to go out to these longer term momentum indicators, it's showing you that semiconductors were totally washed out. It really got hit bad this summer. Guess what else? Semiconductors on an absolute basis, SMH, some people say 20% drawdown's a bear market. They just enjoyed a little bear market in the middle of this bull market. My point is, it's over. I think the selling is overdone here. You would have to go all the way back to the dot-com bubble for a period that saw this much relative weakness from semiconductors. I think that's ridiculous. I think we look back and we say, oh my God, what a gift the market gave us. I think you need to be buying semiconductors aggressively into year end.
As with everything, right? That we discuss, Steve doesn't mean by all semis. There are of course going to be leaders and laggards, and that's the game, right? Like the chat's talking about AMD, right? AMD's been a laggard. We talked about this, right?
But I like those setups too. Like you're right, Spencer, buy the Broadcoms, throw up the Broadcom, buy the leaders, 100%. But like, is AMD going to complete this top? I don't know, man. Like AMD is the spicier one, higher risk, higher reward. Yeah, like I think it digs in here, rockets higher. I think that could be a great trade in the coming months. Even Micron, think about Micron, Spencer. You know this. Micron's got a lot of China in it. I think that's really interesting because I love it when like 2 themes collide like that. We like the China, we like the semis. Micron's spicy here too. I think the semiconductor equipment manufacturing names are really set up nicely against the prior cycle highs. Do we have a Lam Research or a one Monolithic Power? MPWR coming off of those. If you look at something like On Semiconductor, I have the charts in my head. I'm sorry, I didn't bring them to the deck. I was unprepared.
All right, I was just looking at ARM. ARM looks good too. I mean, a lot of them look good. That's kind of the point, right?
And like I like that. Like buy the anchors, right? Go with the ARMs or the Lam Researches or the KLAs. Like make sure you own the big boys to express this theme. And then you can get a little funky. You go down the cap scale. You can find some different stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there. Marvell, Sam was on here talking about the Marvell. I love that. All right. So Lattice Semiconductor, they're a little bit different than their peers. LSCC, we just put a trade on that. But like this kind of chart, I think as a general rule, if you see it, you can buy it.
And a lot of these, one thing that we can appreciate is in this industry group, a lot of the charts look the same. And that's something that we take for granted because not every industry group is like that, right?
Yeah.
So
you're right. Semiconductors as a group act more like something like industrial metals, where you flip through the charts and you're like, oh, they all look the same. They're cyclical stocks. They all move together. It's not like software where one is like killing it.
Not like
software.
It's not like retail. Crying out loud.
Ain't retail either. You're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That's the element of cyclicality, Spencer. The reason why they all tend to look similar. That's the cyclicality in semiconductors. It'll be more similar to like materials or energy or financials than other technology subgroups, actually.
Cool. And we didn't even talk about NVIDIA.
Dude, I think NVIDIA digs
are semis going to go and NVIDIA is not going to go? I mean, that'd be ridiculous.
I love stock splits. I think everyone should do more of them.
You love what?
Stock splits. So I want to shout out NVIDIA for splitting their stock. Now we can trade options much more easily. When you $1,000 stock, it screws stuff up because the position sizing becomes a nightmare. And frankly, when the stock gets big enough and the implied vol is high enough, the position sizing just doesn't work. And I have to like literally ignore those stocks from an options trading perspective. And that's a bummer. So NVIDIA just split, which puts it back on our map, and Lam Research, a nice split. Now that's under $100. So that's option.
NVIDIA's split was back in June. Yeah, that was the 10-1. Yeah.
So more splits. I'm all for it. Bring on the splits. Avago did a 10-for-1 back in July also. So everybody's doing it. I think that's fantastic. Do we have a chart of XLK? So now take this one step further. Here, Fonz, I got one. You take kind of this semiconductors theme one step further, and you say, okay, if semiconductors, which have been the worst group, like we're talking about, this is the laggard group now with short and intermediate term within tech. If they're going to start working, if this XSD chart, equal weight semiconductors, is breaking out of this multi-year base, is tech going to stick this landing and make these new all-time highs? Throw up the chart. 100%. Software looks fantastic. Spencer knows. Cybersecurity has been doing great. Electrical component, all the electronic stuff. All the other tech subgroups, fantastic. Sky, cloud computing, good stuff. Now semis are on board. XLK is going to stick this breakout, I think. I'd be shocked if it didn't. I think XLK is probably the best place to be into year end. Right? Think about what's been the best sector since the election. It's discretionary. Large cap discretionary has been absolutely crushing it. That's growth. Right? When we think about XLY, large cap discretionary, we're also thinking about XLK and XLC. It's all the same conversation. So I think you get that growth rotation back into large cap tech. Or it's not that it hasn't been happening already, but I think you get in a bigger way and they chase these things in the year end. I think large cap tech, the same trade that's been working most of this cycle, is the best trade into year end.
Small cap tech. Okay.
Large cap tech.
Oh, large cap tech. Sorry. Okay.
Because small cap tech has been working for months now, right? So maybe watch that cool little window dressing. Everybody rushes back into the big boys for year end. I could see something like that going on. At this point, Spencer, if you look at some of these small cap tech stocks, I mean, we're talking about the rigatoni out here, the real, like every other day. Some of these stocks are up 200%, 300%, 400%, like in a matter of months. So I think they deserve a breather, right? They've done some hard work here, and they've earned a cool off the speculative growth trade, small cap tech trade.
Yeah, but most of those like high flyers are always tech or growthy in some way, shape, or form.
The growth,
right? So it's not, and they're always going to be that way. There's always going to be a rigatoni of the world, right? Or four, right?
I had rigatoni last night. I think it was like a little Fra Diavolo sauce with some local shrimp. It was fantastic. I want to shout out Square Grouper. This has really emerged as one of like the must go places when you're in the Florida Keys. They have created a whole little network of restaurants. The original one was in Cudjoe Key. That's where we went last night. It is such a good time. I stand by their oysters, the best oysters in the Florida Keys. They do them all different ways. Best selection, too. They got oysters from all over the place. It's so much fun. They could do them all the different ways. You get them raw. They'll bake them. They'll do the Rockefeller. They do this delicious, like, garlic Parmesan kind. Oh, my God. $5 stone crab claws for happy hour. Really
Very
hard
nice.
to beat. Really hard to beat. Some of the best smoked old fashions. Live music almost every night. It's just a really cool hangout. So Square Grouper, if you're in the Keys, you got to go to Square Grouper. There's one downtown now too, Key West, and another in Isla Mirada.
You have it downtown? I didn't realize there were downtowns down there.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have a very active.
Oh wait, no, I've been there. What am I saying? I've literally been there. It's like okay. Can we talk maybe about something besides semis and tech? Maybe some retail?
Please.
All right, let's bring up. Where do you want to start? Let's start with Costco because it's my favorite. It's one of the few stocks that I own long term. I mean, they beat. That's what they do, right? Their EPS came in above. The revenue came in above. The net income was above. The comparable sales, 6.25%. That was good. E-commerce was good. Basically, it was all good. Remember, this is actually the first quarter that they saw. They raised the prices, the membership, like over the summer, right? And that was their first price increase in like 7 years. So this is the first quarter that actually came through on the financials. The e-commerce growth was strong, right? 13% year over year. Pretty much it was all good. I don't actually know where we're up this morning in Costco. What are we up? I don't think it's definitely not up as much as Broadcom is. We're up. Oh, we're flat. Okay, look at that. See, we're flat. But it was a good report for Costco, and it almost always is. So, I mean, it's kind of what they do. They print money.
How much are they?
I'm long.
How much are
we just hit. Didn't we just hit $1,000? We did. We're not there now. No, but we hit it yesterday and the day before that.
Do they ever not beat, Spencer?
No. I mean, I can go back and look. I will go back and look right now, but I don't remember Costco ever actually screwing up the earnings report.
And what's going on with their dividend? Are they paying a special this year? Sometimes they do like a special when they're crushing it.
I didn't see anything about a special.
Really nice.
Oh, this is weird. So this other data source I use is showing that it was actually a slight miss on the EPS. That's why the estimates thing is so funky, because some places say they beat, some places say they missed. Different estimates. Regardless, it's Costco. They're fine. The e-commerce growth was good. They're expanding like always, and $1,000 a share is where we're at. So,
how much do you think of Home Depot and Lowe's in the same light as Costco? I understand that they're selling different things.
It's a good question. I don't.
The big box stores wouldn't you like? I don't know if Home Depot is technically, but it is.
Yeah. No, I don't. I've never thought about that like them like that before. I mean, Costco's only comp really is BJ's and Walmart, right?
Clean comps, yeah.
Yeah.
And even Walmart's not really a clean comp because
Walmart has no real comp.
Walmart has Sam's Club still, no?
Yeah.
So that would be the comp.
Yeah.
Sam's and BJ's. But so the reason I asked, I don't have a Costco. I wish I did. I was just talking to Perlman about how sad it makes me that I don't have a Costco. I used to go to the Costco in Port Chester all the time. If I did, though, I would constantly be thinking, should I go to Home Depot for this or Costco?
What?
Yeah. To get stuff.
They're not the same.
Absolutely.
If you need hardware, you go to Home Depot. If you need a toy for your kitchen or your house or food,
Costco sells everything now, though.
They just sell toys, man. They just sell toys.
Right. I need a new vacuum cleaner. Should I go get it at Costco or Home Depot? No,
that's a toy. I would go.
That's a toy, a vacuum cleaner.
For adult, that's an adult toy.
I need a new microwave. Should I go to Costco or Home Depot? No, there's not a
all right.
situation there.
There, I'm not saying there's no overlap, but Costco, they have one of everything. You know, it's just one brand of but you can't brand shop at Costco. You know,
Costco
no
actually,
one does that.
dude, Costco is so good, okay, that even their golf balls are legit. Like Kirkland doesn't miss, man. Kirkland's great.
Yeah, they just have like the good brand, but they have one brand of every different item you could want.
Costco golf balls are better than like Wilson golf balls, or like the second tier makers.
I would love to know more about Kirkland. It's
Can
all
they
white.
spin that off one day?
It's all white labeled. I mean, like.
Oh, so they are doing that, I would imagine. Okay.
I would assume they're not going to. They wouldn't spin it off. I don't. Maybe they would. I don't know. But they seem to make freaking everything. So, but no, they don't make it. It's white labeled from other places. They just slap their name on it.
John Wick is right. I have lived too long in the Keys. We're getting out of here soon.
Yeah. Okay. So Home Depot and Lowe's look like that, and
This is why
those charts don't look like Costco at all. So,
well, first of all, nothing looks like Costco. Even like I know Walmart kind of does right now, but like over time, if you zoom out, no retailer really looks like Costco. It's in a league of its own. It's been that much better than everybody.
does.
But so the question I'm trying to pose with this long-winded discussion about vacuum cleaners at Costco and Home Depot is, are these going to go failed breaky while Costco and Walmart look the way that they do? And Walmart's straight shot higher too, by the way. Walmart's almost a double this year. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. I'll come to Bucharest, Caleb. We don't know where we're going to go. We might just do a road trip, Spencer. I might just be doing like morning show from the road. When we head back south after our holiday situation this year, I think we're just going to like stop a bunch of places. Just going to go visit friends.
All right.
Rent some Airbnb, maybe rent a log cabin in the woods. I don't know. I don't know where we'll end up.
All right. We got some people waiting backstage. Let's bring them on. Let's bring Kenny on here. And then we'll bring Louie on, do some Crypto Friday. And see what Kenny's trading today.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't come from my club, they took it. Putting up numbers, 99 pounds, and I still kept it 100. Hola.
Yeah. Kenny.
Yeah, what's up? Can I be involved in Crypto Friday? Good morning.
Yeah, you want to be?
Sure.
We haven't even talked about it yet. Sure.
Yeah, I'm still in the same stuff that I bought back in 2018. So
good for you.
I'm rooting for the doggy coin. The thing does not want to go away. I sold some at 40, hoping to buy a dip. But you know what? If this breaks all-time highs, I think it was 76 cents when Elon was on SNL, I'm going all in. Seriously, if it breaks the all-time highs, this thing might go to 250. So big fan of the doggy coin. That's right.
Where is Doge at right now?
I think still around 40 cents. I'm just guessing. I don't look. That's the beauty of the cryptocurrency trade.
Right.
So my new favorite one is Algorand, because I guess you want to call it, the symbol is algo. How are you not in a cryptocurrency, whether or not it's a currency or not? How are you not in this when the symbol is algo? Come on, baby.
Dude, my shitcoin portfolio is getting bigger by the day, not in terms of money, in terms of number of holdings.
Yeah.
I went from 0 holdings 3 days ago to 5 holdings yesterday, and probably more today. I just keep buying.
Right. So, I think it's back to being just like at a donut shop, right? They just invent a coin, like, oh, that looks good. Let me get a dozen of those.
Well, when Louie, who's going to be on in a minute, when we were meeting in California in May, Louie told us that like 3,000 tokens are invented a day, every day. 3,000 tokens, nuts.
Well, what's nuts is that I see these videos on TikTok. Is it true about the 13-year-old kid who invented the coin, got a bunch of friends together, had the coin run, he made 30 grand, cashed out, and ended the feed? I want to believe that's a real story, because that's incredible. That 13-year-old kids are getting involved here. Meanwhile, my kids just, coming home from college with no direction.
What are we actually trading today? Not Dogecoin.
Well, again, the market just does not want to go down. I watched the economic data come out, and nothing even budged this morning. It was pretty funny, but we're still looking at the cues. I projected to get up to 539 by the end of the year, so we still got 8 more points to go on that. It looks like we're all systems go. But listen, the robot rocket space trade is still where you want to be. The quantum stocks finally saw some selling yesterday, so today they're gapped up. What that means is either this is a sucker gap, which is going to be sold into, or we did find a real bottom yesterday. So I'm going to be looking right back to the rigatonis, RGTI, QBTS, the QT. And again, what I think is going to happen if this sector is real, ETFs like QTUM, there's going to be more of them formed. So if they start building new ETFs and new hedge funds are getting onto this quantum idea, they're going to start throwing these stocks inside these ETFs, causing artificial buying, and we're gonna see another big move up. So big fan of these stocks. Hopefully there's going to be some options made on all of them across the board. But you know what I like? The mob, MOB. That's going back to the drone trade. Strazza was talking about it coming out of that $2 range. This stock continues to impress me. From 2 to 290, back to 2. You thought it was over. They fought back, broke 1-year highs yesterday. If this thing could stay above 250 and get something going, the all-time high on the stock was 666. Where's my Iron Maiden fans? Come on!
Okay, so see, this is why I love Kenny, because I've always thought it's basically impossible for me to trade like this MOB, this stock that went from $1.50 to $3 in like 2 weeks, and the chart looks insane. But with Kenny's script, it's actually not that hard. It's really not, right? You use the VWAPs. It's not rocket science.
Yeah, once they all, again, that's why the Stitch Fix was such an amazing story, and that story continues. Wow, did they come back to destroy that? So, man, Stitch Fix came out, every metric you want to be involved in on the long side, and man, those bag holders were probably just cheering. And the next day, wow, what an annihilation. That thing gave a Jerry Orbach right to the breakout price.
It did.
That Stitch Fix is nasty looking, but nasty is where I come in. So we're going to look at Stitch Fix to see if they find some any love today. Might be a lotto play on some $5 calls. I'm not saying it, but I am saying it. So look at Stitch Fix $5 calls today if they're a penny. But coming out of the Andy Dufresne is just absolutely incredible. It's an incredible trade. And most of these stocks fit that criteria. That's why I'm liking this mob. But I feel a little dirty and icky this morning. I actually looked at what the company does and the fundamentals. And
why did you do that?
I don't know. I feel naughty.
Don't do that.
I know. I feel naughty now. Somebody slapped my hand. I'm actually looking at like Yahoo Finance and who owns the stock.
All right, Mobilicom. I didn't even know that was a name.
Yeah. So big fan of the mob. I like because again, when you impress me, just like ASTS a few months ago, if you look like a pump and dump, you smell like a pump and dump, chances are you are a pump and dump. But if you start to get bought on the dumps and continue to rise and build new ranges, I'm impressed. So that's
this is Israeli cybersecurity. Oh man.
Yes. That's where I want to be, baby. But let's go back to talk to Algo. I bought more Algo X. Come on, baby.
All right.
Scaramucci said 250 on this with a 200,000% return. So Scaramucci says this thing's going to $200 within the next 10 years. I'm in at 8 cents. Let's go, baby.
You want to hang out for Crypto Friday? You're more than welcome to.
Yeah, sure. I'd like to hear some more what's going on. I'm always hanging out in the background.
All right. Let's bring on Louie.
Talk to me. Give me some shit.
Wait, we lost Louie. What the hell? Where'd he go?
It's just me. Hey, everybody.
Welcome back to
Crypto Friday.
He was here. He was here a moment ago.
I've been in Bitcoin since 2018. $8,000, baby. Come on. I know everything.
Wait, he was here, I swear to you. And now he's gone. I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, I'll go back to the room. They're all wondering what happened to me.
All right,
guys. Good luck today. Have a great weekend, and it's going to be busy next week. And we'll have one more schmooze by the end of the year, and we'll be partying all year. So I'll see you soon.
Thebid.com can't be easier than that. See you, Kenny. All right. Louis says he has to restart his PC. Man, what's going on these days? We had the microphone yesterday. We had Louis' PC today. These these people over in Australia, New Zealand, you get their act together. Dear Lord. All right. We need to talk about RH. Let's just do that real fast before Louis comes back. That was the third big stock I want to discuss. RH has the most. I haven't heard it yet, but they usually have the most interesting earnings calls because the CEO every quarter is like the best ever or the worst ever. Okay, so this report was of course it was mixed. Go figure, right? So what did they say? They raised their growth guidance for the year. They're guiding for 7% year-over-year revenue growth. What do they say about their earnings per share? That was a slight miss, $2.48 versus $2.66. The revenue was a slight beat. What else did they say? Q4 growth guidance of 20 to 22%. And after all of that, the stock is up 13%. So nice base for our actually. So where are we at this morning? We're at 431. To just put this chart in perspective. So we're above that fib level. Nice. Yeah. And that's right, Rachel. These are earnings calls. Or if you don't know how to listen to the calls, you can go to the site or just read the transcript, and they are quite funny. This guy is a character. So 13%. RH has got to be one of its biggest days for a while. I don't have a rate of change up right now, but it is at the top of my gainers list this morning, right below Broadcom. What else did they say? They said, I mentioned the guidance. There was some margin pressures. Nothing too interesting. They acknowledge headwinds from high mortgage rates. Yeah. People aren't buying houses, therefore they are buying less new furniture for those new houses. That makes a little bit of sense to me. Anyway, 13% gain this morning. That's all you need to know. Watch it throughout the open. And that's where we're at. Okay. RH, not Robinhood. Let's see if is Louis back yet? No, he is not. When he comes in, I'm just going to bring him in cold turkey. And we'll see where that gets us. Steve, where you at, man? Oh, Steve's coming back too. Man, everyone's leaving me this morning. No, Dawson, you get it. The whole idea is it's the same thing with Home Depot, right? And even Costco for that matter. When people buy new homes, that drives more purchasing because they have to then fill the new homes with new shit or do renos and whatever. So a lot of companies sort of cite the housing market as a headwind / tailwind for their business. It's a very convenient scapegoat, right? For retail or anything. So we'll see. Okay. What else? What else was on my list here? I mentioned those three names. We got Costco, we got RH, we got Broadcom. Those are kind of the big three. We're pretty much done. I can say finally we're done with the earnings season. There might be like one or two more next week, but Costco usually is the end of it for me. I think maybe we have Nike next week, but who cares about that? Speaking of Nike, we're going to be doing some more retail stuff in the coming weeks and months with Jeff Mackey, so stay tuned for that. Also, if anyone got JC's note this morning, there was it was a guest post. It wasn't written by JC because JC is not home. It was written by our Sam Gatlin, and in that note was a link to Sam's newest free email. It didn't even start yet. It's going to go live either later this year or early next year, and it's called Biotechnical Analysis. That was all Sam with the name. If you want to get on the wait list for that free email, I think once a week, Sam's going to just outline a few of his favorite biotechs. He's got, he's got the educational background of a CMT, but his family also runs a pharmacy, so he's got that background as well. If you want to get this free note, I just dropped the link in the chat, and then if you enter your email there, you'll automatically get Sam's email whenever we start sending it, either later this year or most likely early January. So Biotechnical Analysis with Sam Gatlin, and Yeah.
Sam's doing great work. He's going to be an absolute superstar. He's already done so much great work for us, helping build all these new products. Definitely sign up for his note.
Yeah.
Crazy not
So
to.
I just dropped the link in the chat. All right, Louie, you're here, and I'm bringing you on cold turkey, no intro. You already got it, and you missed it. So here we go.
Spencer, do we have?
Hey guys.
Hey Louie, do we have a full guest schedule for next week yet?
Yes. If you can tell me that we're good for Monday. Are we good for Monday? With Shane?
The boys can't do Monday. That's the one day he couldn't do. So you
All
filled
right.
the schedule too fast. If Caleb's interested, that would be a great conversation. Why don't we just throw Caleb in there? Maybe Pat will co-host the back half of the show Monday.
Okay.
We'll talk about
But next week we do have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday taken care of. So I usually like to book at least a week in advance.
great guests. Can't wait.
Oh.
Louie, how are you, buddy?
Are you guys long the fart coin?
No far.
Yes, sadly. God damn it.
It's below my line, dude.
Damn it, I am,
Below your
Louie.
line?
Below my line,
Really? That's a $700 million market cap.
Yeah, no, it's below my line.
I am. I'm sorry. I feel the need to
it
apologize
well,
for
why are you sorry? I mean, you're clearly making money, right? I mean, look at this.
He's sorry because he knows it's evidence of a impending top.
Yes, this is
He's
we're all
apologizing
doomed.
to
We're all
of
doomed.
us for ending the bull market. That's what he's sorry
mean-
for, right, Spencer?
Talking about impending tops, I want to show this chart, this 3-pane chart that I have of Bitcoin, Solana, and ETH.
Ooh, I like that. The Strazza Cubs for the
No.
analysts.
That's not what he said.
What's
Louis
a Strazza Cup?
Louis the first Strazza Cub, the first Strazza Cub ever. He was our first intern. Look at him now. Sick.
Well,
Yeah, he's talking about
what
Farcoin.
I'm seeing here is that Solana hitting its former all-time highs, ETH hitting its March highs, Bitcoin hitting this 100K Fibonacci extension level, momentum diverging, particularly in Bitcoin here. What do we think?
You know what I think. We're going for it.
Well, look, coming into this week, we had a bit more of a bearish tilt. These levels of overhead supply were present heading into this week. And then this week, we saw the largest single day amount of liquidations across all tokens, $1.7 billion. And
Wait,
that
I'm
is
sorry.
the largest.
Can you say that again?
We had the largest single day amount of liquidations across all crypto tokens this week. So
What is that? What does that mean, though, in the grand scheme of things?
So what this means is that there's a tremendous amount of buying within the futures market. There's a tremendous amount of leverage, and you saw a lot of that unwind this week. So this is the largest single day liquidation going back to 2021. So with Bitcoin at these at this 100K extension level, if we back off a little bit here, closer to 90K, maybe even dip down to the 80,000s, which would be totally reasonable, totally logical in a bull market, right? Just having these regular bull market pullbacks. I'm wondering what's going to be happening to a lot of these altcoins, right?
I have a question. It's not the answer to your question, but my question is this data around the blockchain based data that you look at. I'm just wondering if the popularity of the ETFs will sort of mess with that in some way and create a whole bunch of more. This is the biggest day ever in terms of liquidations or whatever, just because the ETFs have gotten so big.
Yeah, I mean, it could certainly mess with a lot of the on-chain data that we're looking at. Futures data isn't on-chain; it's looking at order flow, and so
Well,
I'm not sure how the ETFs would impact liquidations per se. And if anything,
I don't know.
I'd say that the direction that we're moving in with the futures market is that they're becoming more mature, more stable. Where in 2020 and in 2021, liquidation cascades were really a big theme, where we had multiple liquidation cascades or flash crashes every single year. And it'll just be a regular occurrence that we'll wake up one day, Bitcoin literally just down 10, 15, 20% within a few minutes.
Yeah, but that's always like a feature. I don't know if I want to live in a world where crypto doesn't do that or Bitcoin doesn't do that.
Well, we're moving in a direction where that's becoming a relic of the past.
But that's that's part of why it has the upside. You don't get the upside without the downside. So if there's going to be fewer flash crashes, then there's going to be fewer, whatever the opposite of a flash crash is.
Yeah.
don't
Exactly.
know
I
how
mean,
one-
it's a high beta asset, right? And so you do have exposure to these risks. But I think we're moving in a direction where, particularly for something like Bitcoin, I mean, there's still a lot of beta down the altcoins, but I think in the case of Bitcoin, there's an argument to be made that as it gets bigger, it will begin exhibiting more gold-like returns. Now that's looking, 10 years into the future, right? But for now, we're still seeing a lot of this volatility. And the point I want to make here is that we're having all these former levels of overhead resistance, and these are just
Wait,
logical
can
levels
you just
to
move
back off
closer?
again.
Can you move closer to your mic? You're a little hard to hear. Somehow. That's possible. Wait, is that better?
1 second, sir.
Yes, that's better.
Okay.
I hear you louder now.
Cool.
All right. So, all right, go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, so these are just logical levels just to see a little bit of churn, a little bit of consolidation here in crypto. And it's all about finding the right moment. You don't want to just be swinging at every single cryptocurrency that's up. You want to be making sure that you're doing so very strategically when the tape is conducive to taking these shots. And so, again, coming into this week, we had a little bit more of a bearish tilt that's paid off a little bit, where a lot of altcoins have really backed off this week. But what I want to see is a little bit more consolidation here from Bitcoin, or alternatively, a decisive break above that 100K level. Then we can go all guns blazing back again.
All right, well, wait and see, I guess. But yeah, this is kind of bumming me out. I don't want to live in a world where crypto is like mature, and you don't, and that's part of what makes it crypto to me. Is you might wake up and it's down 10% in your face, and you might lose a third of your money in a month, but then you might double your money in 2 weeks, right? So that's.
Hey Spencer, you don't need to worry because crypto certainly isn't mature when a coin like Filecoin just gets launched
fine.
a few weeks ago and it's at a
Yes,
$700 million
I should have
market cap.
clarified, but that still applies to the majors, and I think maybe that's not why institutions. Actually, no, I just assume that everyone owns Bitcoin because they want some juice, right? And if you're not buying Bitcoin for the juice, then what are you even buying it for? What purpose does it serve if it's not giving you juice? That's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at.
I mean, hey, look, Spencer, I'm not here to make you happy. I'm just here to tell the facts, tell the truth here.
Fine.
But
all right.
Yeah.
I need to add more money to my Spot.dog account. Start looking for some juice there. Dear Lord.
That's where the juice is in the Filecoin. I mean, look, I'm proud to see that you're in the Filecoin.
Yeah, so yesterday I bought some Let's Get This Bread, and I bought some Fartcoin. So it's the LGTB and the fart. So maybe I've got a little bit more cash to deploy. This is all my Solana money that I'm just using on shitcoins now. So
Louis, the stock to flow model says like a 400K target this cycle. And so I've done a lot of work for stock to flow and not a fan of that indicator at all.
Why not? Also, explain what that is.
So stock to flow is basically assuming that Bitcoin's price is an assumption of its scarcity. And that indicator, it's actually hurt a lot of people because a lot of people it was used as hopium in the previous cycle. A lot of people were riding the bandwagon of that hopium. And it's the indicator is just not relevant at all. Bitcoin is maturing. So not a fan of that stock to flow model.
Louis, you're so kind when you criticize things. I think you could be more honest. Like in general, is there still a problem? I see you laughing. Is there still a problem in crypto where crypto is super cool? We have all the on-chain metrics and stuff, but people overdid it the past couple of cycles. Are they still out there kind of pumping some of these on-chain metrics? And are you constantly seeing charts of that and rolling your eyes? Like, how has that situation developed?
Yeah, you're always getting that. And then people don't, again, have this awareness that the market's evolving. And as the market evolves, it's going to get more complex, more nuanced. It's not just as simple as just, okay, this indicator, these last two cycles suggested this, and so this is going to happen again. That's the classic case of having few statistical samples.
And I would trust you as much as anybody because we're not out here criticizing some of these indicators without playing with them. Louis, myself, and JC, Louis especially, played with the toys. As soon as all of these indicators and all this, on-chain data came out, well, we used a couple different vendors, right? For you to kind of get in there, play around with them. You used them a lot, and you learned them. So I think you have the knowledge and the background to say, I don't need this. This is no good. There's no signal here.
And the pi cycle, the rainbow chart indicator. The rainbow chart indicator was actually created as a meme, so it's not really a real indicator.
Is that just a moving average system?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
And
And
by
how
the
is
way,
yeah.
Louis, did you see that? I think I saw this last week or the week before. It was like there was a note going around, a 10-year-old Wedbush note that like nailed the call in Bitcoin. They said Bitcoin to 100K.
What happened to those guys? Are they gone? Wedbush? They were good.
No, they're still around, man.
Still around? Okay.
Yeah, but there was like a 10-year-old Wedbush note for that was saying Bitcoin to 100K. It was going around. I actually have it. I think I have.
Oh, that's funny. But it took 10
Yeah.
years, Spencer.
Yeah, but they got it. By the way, guys, Louis publishes a free daily crypto note. It's called AAC Crypto Daily. It's every day at like 5 o'clock in the morning if you're on the East Coast. I just dropped the link in the chat.
If you're interested in crypto, this is
Yeah.
the number one thing you need to sign up for and read every day.
And again, like most things we do, it's designed to be easy to consume. If it takes you more than like a minute to get through, you're doing something very wrong. It's quick. That's kind of the whole idea. It's quick, but it'll make you feel smart. That's all I can say.
Louis has a beautiful writing style, and the note is really a pleasure to read.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Louis, you get to pick one on-chain indicator to rule them all. Is it the realized price?
I think so, because we use this in technical analysis. So putting away on-chain, right? We use this anchored VWAP quite a lot because what is technical analysis doing? We're analyzing the supply and demand of markets. And one of the key ways that we do that is by analyzing profitability. Because psychologically, the reason why people make money or the reason why people make decisions in markets is whether they're up, whether they're down, and that impacts their psychology and that impacts their decision-making process. And within crypto, we have all of these metrics that track profitability in real time. So by tracking this profitability, we can make some really insightful calls. And we did so at the beginning of the cycle, right? When people were losing money, that's a good time to be edging back into the market. When people are making extremes amount of money, that's a good time to be thinking about beginning to take profits off the table.
Well said, Louis. Well said. Tom Lee calling for 250K next year. Yeah, you're
That's optimistic. What do we think about that?
I think if that happens, then my fart coin is I'm probably rich from the fart coin.
I think Tom Lee is a guy who has done really well making headlines about price targets, and I have a feeling that if you sat down and had a drink with him, he would tell you that his price targets don't really mean much. But
I think Tom Lee is way smarter than I am, and he earned himself a massive amount of goodwill, similar to JC, by being bullish when very few people were. And credit to them, they freaking nailed it. But I would hate to see him like blow the goodwill.
When was this? When? Last cycle, you mean?
Yeah. He was bullish, like he was saying what JC was saying 2 years ago. Right?
Right.
But just don't blow the goodwill, please. Right? You've earned it. Don't be like Kathy wouldn't blow it all. That's my take.
Why don't we get somebody from ARC on the show? They have a bunch of like analysts and people who just
we can
really do anything.
We can do that. That's not a problem.
You know, I was watching Todd Stone the other day, that ARC W, and I didn't realize how much crypto they held in that ETF.
Yeah. They hold their own crypto fund in that ETF.
And then they have Coinbase, and then
Yeah.
they have,
Tesla,
Robinhood. Yeah.
That fund was Trump trade heavy. And that's part of the reason I think it's done so well. Think
ARC
about it.
W?
Crypto, Coinbase,
Tesla. I know.
Trades in
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it deserves. People went crazy about that when Todd came on and talked about it last week. Here's where my head's at. We've been writing about ARC W since early summer. Right? We've been all over these names. Nobody wanted them then. Now everybody's coming on here cheerleading the ARC W. It's probably time for a breather.
I mean, this thing has literally gone on a vertical line higher, right?
We were getting laughed at for talking about ARC funds 2 quarters ago. Now somebody comes on and talks about an ARC fund, chat goes crazy. So pay attention.
Is that something that you guys also do? You almost use the chat as a little bit of a sentiment indicator. You're throwing your bait out and then just seeing how the chat
Yes and no.
responds.
We use our Twitters that way too. I've really learned from JC in that way. I think he's an absolute master at kind of getting a read from the masses and knowing how to do it. But he says crazy stuff in emails to kind of solicit some response or feedback, and it's all set. It's all sentiment. He's really good at weighing it. It can be difficult sometimes, but you get bits and pieces. Palantir the other day. Louis, how long have we been talking about Palantir? We love Palantir. Does anybody like Palantir as much as us? I'm taking profits in Palantir because we're up like 6x on the common stock. People are losing it. I'm doing the right thing. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. But the best sentiment data is super obvious. It kind of just hits you over the head.
Hey, how about this divergence between these ARC funds? It really diverged. The ARKK, the ARKF, ARKG, and the ARKW. They're all correlated for like 3 years. ARKW has really come back. ARKG is not. ARKF has
ARKG is next, I think. I think genomics are going to have their time again. I'm excited.
ARKK is not.
Strazza is a permeable on genomics.
I want to live forever, Louis. I want us all to live forever. I'm just rooting for these companies more than any other. You're right.
OTXG. Okay, wait. Do we have Alfonso here? Alfonso, are you coming on today, or Jason? We got Jason. What's going on?
I'm long the 10x. I'm looking to go 10x in the 10x genomics.
Yeah. Okay, we have Fonz and Jason.
Yeah.
Louis, you're free to hang out if you want. I know it's crazy early for you, so
hey guys, well, it's a little bit late, so I'll be heading off. But you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks, Louis.
Later,
man. Let's get Sam on too. It's the Strazza Cup special today. Let's get the whole
Fonz. Are you joining us?
Involved.
Yay or nay? Yeah, Fonz says sure. We got all right, Jason's here. I'll just bring Jason on. Screw it. Everyone's coming in. I don't even care anymore. Jason, you're in. Woo! Fonz, are you in? Fonz, you're in. Jason? Great.
There it is.
What's up, guys? There we go. Party's on. Let's do it.
Alfonso, what's it like being one of the anchor members of the All-Star analyst team?
It is amazing, man. It is amazing. A great experience. A lot of learning. And yeah. Looking forward for more.
If you ain't learning, you ain't earning. I just made that up.
And now we have Jason, the newest member of our analyst team.
That's amazing.
I'm excited, man. It's been fun. And one thing that's really good is like you don't miss anything. Like I have a fund, like I don't miss anything. Like that's the thing that I've been telling people is like even Sam, the other week, if you want to throw up that cocoa chart I put up in the chat. But Sam the other week, we're talking, and I had a really great trade in cocoa a couple years ago into this year. So it was 2023 all the way till this year in 24. Huge trade. I'm sitting there one day, and Sam's on my show, and he goes, "Hey, did you get a signal for cocoa yet?" And I go, "No, not yet. I mean, that thing moves so much. I would be surprised to get another signal." And Sam goes, "Well, you're about to get another signal." And so literally 2 minutes later, I get another signal, and Sam put that on my radar. Now, once again, it's a system, so it would have got it anyways. But just to know what's going on all the time, what signals are going to come into the market, that's a very amazing thing. And we just don't miss anything here. We don't miss anything. We got so many analysts in so many different areas that I never miss anything. I love it.
You make a great point, and I'm so grateful for this, right? So I could come to my desk in the morning and be like, "Jason, what's going on with the bond market? Talk to me about this inflation. What's happening here?" Alfonso, you know, why is Europe moving like this? What's going on over here? Some like give me the read on the international stocks. I got Sam now, who we're putting a big fundamental hat on lately. He's really diving in, getting to know his fundamental self. And he'll ping me. Like the other day, he's telling me there's easier money to be made than in semiconductors. He's talking to me about PE ratios. I'm just like, I'm the luckiest man alive. Like I'm literally the luckiest man. He sends me a new setup every day. Look at this, you know, heavily shorted stock. Like you're absolutely right.
Yeah. And then we put it out to our subscribers, and that's the even better thing. You know, our subscribers get this amazing thing where it's not just one person in the nucleus of one person, one idea. You know, you get everything across the board. You've got, you know, like you're talking about, like now we have all these fundamental indicators, which have been doing great. We have the breakout multiplier. We got Sean and options. So we got the gold rush. Like we got premium still, you know, all of these things covering every single different part of the macro landscape to micro landscape. Not many people are doing that. I don't know anybody who's really doing it to that level.
No, we probably have as many technicians as anybody. I think Alfonso is the only ASC analyst who watches soccer. I don't know if that's true. Is that
I think
true, Alfonso?
Jason, aren't you a soccer guy?
I used to play soccer. I played soccer when I was a kid. Yeah.
Nice.
I got lots of trophies. I've been carrying around my AAU Ohio Games trophy for a long time.
And Grant and Louis, they're basically like Europeans. Don't they like soccer too? Or is it just
I thought they were like rugby folk. I don't know.
Yeah, they're rugby's. You're right. Yeah.
Probably. And cricket, I think, over there. So
Yeah. Sam, you want to come on and join the party?
Yeah, get him in here.
All right.
We got some gold stuff too, and Sam and I were talking about this right beforehand. And this is the cool thing about Sam is, like, you know, randomly, like I'll be up in the morning just doing random stuff to come on today because I was talking to Steve, and then Sam goes, "Hey, do you have any seasonality charts for gold?" And I'm like, "Working on it right now." Perfect. You know, like we're always kind of in sync like that. It's awesome.
Sam, you told me yesterday. Say it for everybody. Sam yelled at me yesterday. I sent him my trade blotter at the end of the day. I bought like 15 semiconductor positions, calls common, and Sam scolded me. I think your words were, "There's easier money to be made than in semiconductor."
Yes. You're on mute, Sam.
Talk to me about this. I love this.
Sam, you're on mute. Unmute yourself. No.
Try again.
Try again.
What about now?
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. First time here. No, my point was I'm not in the business of buying monthly PPO crossovers to the downside. And that's what I see with the semiconductors. They've had an amazing run, but I don't know. I don't think there's much upside there. Like Avgo up 17% or something today. Ridiculous. Going to be $1 trillion company, but why not buy the RGTI that goes up 600% in a month? You know, that's what I'm saying.
Why not? So Sam is telling me why not buy the RGTI and says, all right.
Yeah. Sam, switch your mic setting. Your mic might not be plugged in correctly because you're a little bit choppy. We have to you and I will deal with this today, okay?
Yeah. The monthly PPO reminds me, if you zoom way out and you look at a monthly PPO in 2011, 2012, look at that. You got about a 20% sell-off in the semis then, and then it just corrected itself and kept going. For me, you're right. The monthly PPO does look scary here. But that's an ancillary indicator, the monthly PPO, right? We're looking at a monthly slow-moving momentum indicator. So I'm going to weigh the intermarket stuff more, like Mag 7 ripping, big cap growth, back on trend, software, best stocks in the market. And I'm going to look at the semiconductors and see these potential tops on a relative and absolute basis. I got to weigh that more and say to myself, are the semis going to complete a top while software is the best trade in town? I don't know. That's a tough bet.
Well, also, here's a great thing about the semis, and a lot of people aren't paying attention to right now, is this triangle that's really like you have this major band squeeze pattern setting up. You look at a weekly chart of SMH. You know, you've got this band squeeze set up. That's going to be a very significant move. And to me, it's one way or the other. It tells us something if it goes higher. I still think it's in the way of the trend moving higher.
We have this chart. Put it up while he speaks to it.
Yeah.
The vol compression indicator on the semis. You're spot on. Jason, look at ON because you like the weekly band squeezes, right? Pull up a chart
Yes.
on semi ON. Yeah, that thing is just tight here. Been dead in this range.
Yeah, that's XLK, and the it's even more significant when you look at SMH, and all of these are kind of squeezing and ready to break to the upside,
Totally.
which tells me something significant is building under the surface. And most of the time, to me, I'm a back testing guy. If you go backwards, you look at the best things to use for returns, major returns, high win rates. It's all band squeeze breakouts, whether it's a weekly. Hey, you can use it on a day trading chart. You could take the 30-minute range and then the band squeeze breakout out of that 30-minute range for a day trade still works very well as a trading tool. So basically, across the board, that is the best pattern, and it usually leads to major moves. And so looking into next year, like if we get the SMH to start to move higher and the Mag 7 starts to move higher and all of these things, we're probably going to see a great move to the upside. The stock market's definitely going to follow. It's a risk-on indicator, and we love risk-on indicators around here.
And you're right. Here's the thing about the monthly PPO cross at Samsung. I wish he was here to have this discussion with us. If that is a valid signal, bull market's over. So you got to worry about a lot more than just semiconductors, right? If that's a valid cross, isn't that it for everybody? I would imagine. I don't know.
Yeah. So another one that we could talk about right now, which would be easy to get to. So if you go to the charts I dropped today, Alfonso, you'll see that there's a one on the S&P 500 and the Santa rally. So what I wanted to do this morning is give you guys all exact days on the Santa rally. Everybody talks about it, and everybody has different days. I just went back as far as I possibly could. I think it's 94 years. And I took those dates and I put them in. They're quantified. You see that there's an 82% win rate. It's a really, really good, powerful trade, and it probably is going to give some broad breadth to the market. So whenever Alfonso gets that up, there we go. So if we're looking at that, you know, this is pretty amazing. I mean, look at all that green that you're seeing. The years that you're seeing some red are pretty tough years most of the time, and especially in the last like 10 years, it's been a very high win rate, over 90%. So if you're looking at this, basically we're looking at the dates from December 16th to January 6th. And this is a company that I'm a partner with. It's TradeWave. And so we create seasonality tools. And this seasonality tool really just kind of drives everything. It lets you get a good feeling for what direction the market's heading to, good times to buy. And so this is really just letting us know, hey, this is the exact dates of the Santa rally. So basically the 16th to January 6th. I think it's one of the best things to kind of look for this Santa rally. Everybody talks about it's 5 days, 20 days. After quantifying it across the board and all of these different days, this is the best period of time.
Wait, what is the dark green and the light green?
And give the date range again for the Santa.
Okay, so if you look at the bottom here where it says date range, you'll see it's December 16th to January 6th. And you guys feel free to screenshot this. So take it home with you. But the green, what Spencer asked, the light green is the overall range. So if you're seeing the light green all the way up here on some of these, that means the range hit that high. The dark green is the close for the month. So if we're seeing the close for the month, sometimes it gives a lot back. Sometimes it closes all the way up there. It just really depends. But most of the time, if you handle it during this time frame, you're going to make some money. It's going to be pretty bullish. For me, short-term traders, the best short-term trade is basically the 16th till the day after Christmas. And the best long-term trade is the 16th, December 16th through January 6th. And this is over 96 years.
I love what you did here, Jason.
Yeah.
And look at, I mean, that outperformance is real. I would love to see that chart zoomed in, the cum return.
Yeah, I think did I have that? I think I may have dropped that in the Slack as well. If I didn't, I will drop it right now.
Is the Santa Claus rally losing its gusto though? As I move from left to right on this chart, past 25 years, yeah, sure, you pick up a couple percent, but it's not like it was back in the 70s, 80s.
No, you're That's a great point, Steve. Great point. And yes, it used to be a lot bigger. You used to see major returns around that time. And I think it's, once again, it's the observer principle. When so many people are looking for it, observing it, thinking it's going to happen, that's when it's probably going to diminish a little bit. However, it is still a bullish period of time for me. If you add the relative strength into something like this and you go, okay, I'm going to go into where the relative strength is, I'm going to get into those trends, and that's what I'm going to hold, you're probably going to make some good returns there still.
Can you explain what you mean by the observer principle? I think this is an important concept.
So when you, and this is similar across the board. So you'll see, like, for example, trend following systems in the 70s is a great example of this. Everybody was using trend following systems in the 70s. They worked incredibly well and very short term. 50-day highs, 25-day lows is what the turtle traders used. If you use that same system today, it's garbage. Doesn't make any money.
Well, they eventually changed it, didn't they?
Yes, they started to move to longer term systems. So they started to move 100-day highs, 50-day highs, and now it's all the way, like if you talk to Jerry, like he's all the way to 200-day highs, 100-day lows. Yeah.
It's so bad.
But it's amazing because if you really look at it, it's just the way the markets have worked. And this guy, you know, that's what's so amazing about Jerry is he can just adapt to it and doesn't even care. It sounds crazy. It might like harm some people. They might go, man, that's insane. Why would he do that? But it's just because it works. And that's the way Jerry is. If it works better than everything else. He's just going to use it.
Do you see how calm and cool he is when he talks?
Oh, yeah.
There's
no stress.
His whole mental game is a product of his system. It's just, you know, he's Jerry Chill, man. It's so cool. Zooming out, long-term trend following, just riding the waves, not a care in the world. He's got a parrot on his shoulder. Like, what a life. No, but really, like,
yes,
you're out here trying to sling hot stocks in the pre-market every morning. Like, you're probably going to be running around like a big ball of stress, yelling at your kids and shit. Like, you're not going to be like Jerry Parker with a parrot on your shoulder. I'm just saying, you zoom out and you follow these long-term trends, life is easier. The life of a trend follower, it almost like flows into other things. Like, I've changed in other aspects of my life. Like, I won't fight something. If I see it happening, like, I'll take what I learned about the market and apply it in other things of life. Like, if something's happening around me and I can't control, I'm good with it, right? Like, I can't control that. I'm going to ride that trend too. If everybody's moving out of the Northeast and nobody wants to live in Manhattan anymore, I'm not going to hang out up there. I'm going to go to Florida with everybody else. I'm going to follow trends everywhere in life. It's just an easier way to live.
Yes, and it also gives you time. Like, once again, if you're looking at the market all day, and people will tell me this all the time, though, and you guys all get this too, where people will be like, yeah, I'm learning a lot about the market. And I'll say, well, what do you mean by that? And they'll say, well, I'm staring at the screen all day. And say, well, that's going to just drive you insane. That isn't helping you learn anything, you know? And for me, like, they'll be like, well, you must be doing that all day. I'll be like, no, you know, like, I might be researching, back testing, but the biggest thing I'm trying not to do all day long, every single day, is not look at my account. I don't want to look at my account. I think that's something that I have learned from Tom and Jerry and guys like that. That's funny. Tom and Jerry, Tom Basso, Jerry Parker, and also the show, obviously. But, if you go outside and you take a break and you, like, you know, I have my bees, I go hang out with my bees. I have my dogs, I go hang out with my dogs, or, you know, I'll go hang out with my partner, you know, whatever it is, to get your mind off of just staring at the screen all day long. Like, that's going to just drive you crazy. It's going to make you move on your positions all the time. It's going to make you second guess yourself. Really good trading is the ability to sit on your hands for long periods of time. That Coco chart's a perfect example of that. You know, like, how do you hang on to a trend like that? And the way you hang on to a trend like that is to literally sit on your hands and do nothing for a very long period of time. And how do you do that? Well, you have to run a system of some sort. So either you buy it, hold it, and just pray about it, or you run a system.
Doing nothing is hard, man.
It is. It's the hardest thing to do as a trader.
Yeah.
What's on your mind,
Fonz? Big cap tech. I mean, back in the game, leading the market. Started with Apple breaking out of a nice base a couple of days ago. Now we're seeing Google trying to reclaim the old all-time highs. Microsoft looking good too. And Amazon, of course, broke out of that big base. Tesla is again revisiting the old all-time highs. That you know, it's carving out a nice base for the discretionary sector. And I mean, it's impressive to see that massive fail top in the discretionary on a relative basis. So I think we will see similar bit in.
So we were thinking about, we almost put a trade on XLK last night, ran out of time. People put meetings on our calendars at like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's insane. So so we didn't put it on yet. And I'm looking at them today, and XLK is up 1%. Like we're not like, it's not going to be a chase at all. We're going to put that on. But I think we just do SMH too. Like, I think we just do both. I like this theme so much. We'll go out to March.
Look, I think it makes sense. Looking at and expect some rotation back into semiconductors. Software has been doing great. Cloud computing has been doing great.
Yeah.
Internet FDN, it's looking very, very good, and has been a leader in the space.
All-time highs this week.
Yeah, so I think a nice rotation back into former leaders, semiconductors, is needed. And that's, I think, the bet I'm making right now too.
What chart do you think tells the story the best? Is it the XSD breakout?
I like the XSD. It's an equal weight chart, so it speaks more broadly participation in general terms.
Yeah, it's really good. We're gonna have the I just saw Mags shouted out in the chat. So we're going to have one of the guys from Round Hill on next week. And really the idea was to dive into their new China fund and talk about this dragon thing, which is similar to my Shanghai index. But we'll talk about the Mags too. They got a lot of interesting funds over there. So that'll be a fun discussion. What is that? Wednesday, Spencer? So tune in.
That is Wednesday. We've got Dave Mazza on the show.
But the Mag 7, okay, it tends to just do whatever the hell it's doing. We were talking the other day about RSP, equal weight S&P 500, really been down like almost every day for 2 weeks now. The Mag 7 has been the inverse of that, up every day, those 2 weeks, right? So it's like these stocks, just treat them separately. Think of them differently, right? And we talked about earlier, Spencer, how these big names become an ATM for the small names, right? And now you're seeing it in reverse, where the small names, they're taking profits on all that. And guess what they're doing? They're parking it right back in the big names again. And I guarantee you through year end, they're going to want to leave it in the big names. So we see this all the time.
Do some recess and get out of here?
Yeah, it'd be great.
All right.
What do you guys got?
What do I have? What I got? What have I got? What have I got is not what I have.
Yeah.
Does anyone get that reference? Does anyone get that reference?
What is that from?
No? That's it's a CNBC reference from back in the day. No? All right. Never mind. Forget it.
Yeah. So if I was in New York City or close to New York City like you, Spencer, tomorrow I would be going to Madison Square Garden to watch my UConn Huskies play the Gonzaga. Is it Wolfpack? What are they? Gonzaga.
Maybe. I don't know.
But Gonzaga is something nobody really knows.
You can't go into New York tomorrow. It's SantaCon.
Oh, God. Dude, I have some crazy SantaCon stories. I used to work on SantaCon day. You're getting ready for the year-end audit and whatnot. So I used to always work, and I would watch the parade go go on behind, right below me.
Alfonso, do you know what SantaCon is?
The dumbest thing that they do in New York.
It's a bunch of people dress up as Santa and get really, really drunk.
Just throw up on each other.
It's a bar crawl
with
people dressed as Santa.
What's worse, SantaCon or St. Patrick's Day in New York City?
I don't know. SantaCon is the worst.
Gotta be, right?
SantaCon is awful.
It's so both of those events, Alfonso, it's just a bunch of stupid Americans dressed up like idiots, just drunk, making fools of themselves, crowding the city.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
I will have to see it.
Steve didn't want to talk about the Knicks.
Listen, it's early in the season. It's a long season, and there's not much to say right now.
There's not much to say. They're in a good spot, Jason. Please.
I actually really like the Knicks. Brunson's like one of my favorite players, but just watching that game the other day, I was like, wow, that's wild. I did not expect that to happen. I mean, Trade has a tendency of doing that in big games. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
UConn though. I'm
I'm
excited about
gonna
that.
do some boots on the ground due diligence this weekend. I'm going to Six Flags Great Adventure for their holiday, whatever the hell it's called, holiday extravaganza thing, holiday market, holiday thing, whatever. So it's gonna be. I haven't been to an amusement park in years, so it's gonna be fun. And just gonna walk around, do some shopping, see some shows. I don't know, whatever they do there. But SIX. Oh no, they merged. They merged with Cedar Point. So now it's-
Wait, Spencer, are you going to the Six Flags in New Jersey?
Yes.
Oh man, I worked there for 2 summers years ago, doing the bike shows on the. There was a dock back in the day, and there was ramps, and you did bike shows like with a water ski tour. It was like the most ridiculous thing in the world. We did that for it was Mirage Entertainment like many years
That's
ago.
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. I was like 17, so it was like it was really wild.
I haven't been to the Six Flags probably in like 20 years, honestly.
Same.
So
Yeah,
um,
that's the last time I was ever there.
yeah. Yeah. So
Dan
that's what I got.
Hurley's not going to go anywhere, right? Like, why would he go to the Blazers? He already turned down the Lakers. There's this situation.
What are we talking about?
It's a better
The
life.
coach
in
for
college.
UConn.
It's
No,
a
I know.
better life in college for these coaches. I look at what Bill Belichick just did. That shouldn't be shocking. They go
Steve
there.
doesn't care about what we were talking about, Spencer.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just
I'm just
he's
confused.
talking about my coach. He's not going anywhere.
I'm just
Yeah,
confused.
you
All right,
got-
Alfonso, do you have anything for us? Anything fun?
This weekend I'm going to the beach with the family, the entire family, cousins,
love it.
my sister here. So it will be very fun. And I need it, man. I need it.
And next week I will be in and out quite a bit. I think am I on the morning show next week on Monday? I might.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to switch that. I'll talk to Sam. But I'm going out. My son's out in Colorado, and we're going to go visit him. He's training to be a professional skier now, so we're going to go out to
Oh.
Colorado and go ski. And mainly watch him ski more than me ski these days.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Like trying to be on like the Olympic team? Is that what?
Yeah, he's trying to be. I mean, he's actually really good. He went out there just a few years ago. He was like, "Hey, I want to build this van out. I'm going to live in a van. I'm going to go." And we were like, "Okay, he's going to be home in like a month." This is like he's a very strong-willed kid, but it just seemed pretty crazy. And he got out there, and he's been there for 2 years now. He's thriving. He sends us videos of him doing like double backflips and all types of crazy stuff. So he's
what are
really
his
good.
what are his main events? Is he like a downhill guy or is he like?
Oh, he's a I don't know what they call the freestyle jumping, but he does jumping and he does half pipe and he does rail. So
That's
he's
awesome, man.
all of it now. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's cool because I was a bike.
You must be proud based on your history as an extreme sporter.
Yeah, I'm very proud of him. It's a scary thing. I want him to have his knees as he gets older and not walk like I do, but at the same time, like I can't go, hey, because I loved what I did. No matter how broken I hurt myself, how many times I hurt myself, I loved what I did. So I'm glad he's getting enjoyment.
You have a great walk, buddy. It suits you.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's like the penguin.
Yeah, I love your
Right.
walk.
All right. The latest episode of Off the Charts is live on the podcast platforms. Anthony Crudelli is who you guys spoke to, right, Steve?
Love Anthony.
Yep.
Yeah, just absolutely awesome episode. Make sure you listen to this one.
So that episode is live. Spotify, Apple, as if there's anywhere else to get podcasts these days. Check that out. And we'll be back on Monday. So everyone enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Go make some money or take some time away. That works too. Whatever floats your boat. And
Great
thanks for
golf
watching.
weather. Get out there.
Get out there. Get
Get out
involved.
there. Yeah.
And have a good one.
All right.
All right, guys.
Happy
Thanks.
Friday, guys.
Bye, guys.
Run it.